Okay, so we will start the webinar now. So hello everyone and good morning from Israel and Germany. And thank you all for joining us today. We are very excited to host this special virtual event, the finals of our Maritime Autonomous Systems Challenge. This event culminates a 3-month startup scouting project together with our partners, thyssenkrupp Marine Systems and ATLAS ELEKTRONIK, a subsidiary of thyssenkrupp. Here with me today on screen, Joachim and Ido from thyssenkrupp, and Julian and Arne from ATLAS. These are the A team that led the project with us. My team from theDOCK, Hannan, Nir, and Michal. And of course, the distinguished panelists who will soon present themselves, Dr. Luis-Alejandro Orellano, COO of thyssenkrupp Marine Systems, Michael Ozagovsky, CEO of ATLAS, Shlomi Fogel, Chairman of Israel Shipyards, and Elton Fong, Vice President of PSA Unbox, the corporate venture arm of Port of Singapore. Hi, everyone. A few sentences to set the context around today's event. We at theDOCK are very bullish about identifying promising startups which stand a chance to revolutionize the maritime sector. We do that through working closely with global leading organizations in the ports, shipping, and logistics sectors. Our partners share with us their business challenges, and we scout for startups with relevant technologies and solutions to answer these challenges. Everybody wins. Our corporate partners, the startups attending, and therefore theDOCK as well. Now, before quickly going over today's agenda, Ido and Julian, would you like to say a few words about our project together? Ido, maybe you go first.
Sure, thank you, Noah. So, dear friends, good morning and welcome to the finals event of the Maritime Autonomous Systems Challenge. For the past couple of years, Israel became a focus for thyssenkrupp Marine System, not only as a long-time customer, but also as a source for innovation, technology, and partnership. It's not a secret that Israel is considered one of the strongest countries in innovation. And as part of thyssenkrupp's strong commitment to Israel, we're constantly looking for new partners in various areas of our business. This is the second time we conduct the Startup Challenge with theDOCK. Last time it was a physical event. And I must say that I miss this way of conducting business where you can talk, shake hands, being close to each other. But I think that also the current event provides some positive outcome. This time we opened our challenges to startups from abroad, and we were able to meet companies as far as New Zealand. For the past 3 months, we virtually met almost 100 different startups with great ideas and teams. All of them were unique and interesting. It was a really hard task for our ATLAS expert team to choose 8 finalists out of the 100 companies. Today, you will get to hear and see those 8 finalists that best matched our needs. I wish the finalists and all the rest success and luck. On a personal note, I would like to thank Arne and Julian and the great team in ATLAS that supported them in the last 3 months. You are doing a great job, and I hope we were able to provide you a glimpse of the Israeli innovation market. I would like to thank Joachim, which manages all the Israeli-related activities in our headquarters in Germany, which is a pretty complicated task. And lastly, I want to thank Noah, Hannan, Nir, Michal, and the rest of the theDOCK team for organizing such a wonderful event. You are doing an amazing job, and we should start planning the next one. Thank you. So tomorrow we will celebrate the Jewish New Year. So I would like to wish everybody Happy New Year, full of success, luck, and most important, health. I wish that the next time we will be able to see everybody in person. Shana Tova.
Thank you, Ido. Julian, do you want to speak?
Yeah, thank you. So hello and welcome also from my side to the virtual event today. My name is Julian Hansen, as Noah introduced me. Thank you, Noah. So I'm just want to say I'm very happy to see how many people are interested in our final event, and especially how many people are interested in the technology of tomorrow. It was very exciting to select the 8 finalists during the past 3 months. We had different selection rounds with our experts. Thanks to the experts for your support. And also thank you to theDOCK for a very great job that you did orchestrating this selection in the past 3 months. It was very great to work with you together. And yeah, I'm very curious to see our finalists and presenting the technologies during the next 1.5 hours. And I just want to say good luck to all of you and enjoy the panel discussion, which is very interesting, I think, and enjoy the whole virtual final event.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Ido. So now for today's agenda, we will start with a very interesting panel moderated by Hannan. Our panelists will discuss strategic and corporate level considerations in engaging with external technologies and innovation. After the panel, we will have a 2-minute virtual coffee break, but you can actually refill your cups. At 10:30, we will hold a pitching event with the 8 and great finalists of our Maritime Autonomous System Challenge. This will be a high-pace power pitch of 7 minutes each, and will be followed by ATLAS announcement of the 2 or 3 selected startups for pilot project evaluation. So let's get rolling. Hannan, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Noah. And good morning to our audience in the Western Hemisphere, and good afternoon to the ones in the East. We have from all over. As you understand, we are concluding yet another event, which always amazes us with the level of innovation and creativity which exists out there. One thing we learned is that once challenges and pain points are well articulated by our partners, and the thyssenkrupp ATLAS did a great job in articulating the challenges. Once this is done, we know how to translate that into what's called in the venture capital jargon as a deal flow. A deal flow of startups which are decisive and agile and are happy to bite their teeth into the challenge areas which were articulated and deploy out-of-the-box thinking and proposing exciting solutions. As was mentioned, we are going to showcase 8 examples of such startups in the second part of today's event. But the first part, however, which is this panel, will focus on where this all starts. A critical ingredient of a success of any such campaign, any such project, must be the support of executives in the company, often also the support of the board of directors. Which brings me to you, Alexander, Michael, Shlomi, and Elton. I will appreciate for starters to have each of you take a minute and present yourselves and the organization that you lead. Maybe we'll go by the order that I presented the names. So Alexander, why won't you go first? You are on mute, Alexander, you're on mute.
You're muted.
Still muted.
Still muted.
You're on mute, Alexander.
Okay, now you can hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. So, thank you, Hannan. Thank you, Noah, for the introduction. Thank you, everybody, for listening and looking at that event. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Luis-Alejandro Orellano, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of thyssenkrupp Marine Systems. For me, it's very important that we underline with our presence that we really want to open the door of our company for exchange of ideas, innovations, and entrepreneurship that are represented by the startups that will be the finalists today. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Michael, please, thank you.
Hello, good morning from everybody. Yeah, my name is Michael Olzegowski. I'm the CEO of ATLAS ELEKTRONIK GmbH in Bremen in Germany. I'm 54 years old. I'm working for more than 20 years now for ATLAS ELEKTRONIK, mainly in the submarine systems area. We are a company with more than 100 years history, especially in the sonar applications area, and working now for many navies around the world, delivering sonar systems, combat systems, and autonomous systems for the world-class navies in the world. yeah, I'm happy to be part of this event. Looking forward to see interesting ideas. And yeah, thank you for this introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Shlomi, please.
Good morning, everyone, from Herzliya. And welcome to this webinar. It's a good idea. And well done, Hannan, that you put it together. I'm Shlomi Fogo. I'm the chairman of Israeli Shipyard Industries. And we involved in different businesses from shipbuilding to port operation, offshore drilling services, trading, and operating ships. So we are involved heavily in the maritime business and different directions, and definitely will be interesting day today.
Thank you very much, Shlomi. And Elton, please.
Hi, Elton Fong here. I'm the Vice President of PSA Unboxed, which is the external innovation and corporate venture capital arm of PSA International. PSA International, as you may know, is a global container terminal operator. We operate and manage seaports and inland container terminals in something like 50 locations around the world. And what PSA Unboxed does is to help PSA's business units find and use innovation from startups. Nice to meet you.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. And I have quite a few topics I would like to discuss today. The audience is made of, I'd say, 3 general groups. One is other corporates which are interested or are operating in the maritime sector. The other community on the line are startups and entrepreneurs interested in the domain, in the sector. And the third one are also some investment people, VCs, other investors which also have interest. So we are actually having a whole ecosystem here listening to us today. And I'd like to start our discussion with the strategic considerations. Let's start at the top. And we know that you all run and represent large corporates. I'm sure it's a big operation that you run with customers to attend to, suppliers, partners, employees, all in all, many opportunities and many challenges as well. I take it that you are very busy, yet you took the time to sit here today on the panel, and more so, in quite a few cases, to lead long processes of looking outside for open innovation. Can you please give us the boardroom perspective, the executive perspective of the motivation to engage with that type of open innovation, scouting for startups? Why is it worth your time? Now, Michael, since ATLAS, you have run together with us this project, I'd like to ask you to start. I mean, why is it worth your busy schedule, your time, to actually invest in that and drive that right now here on the line, but more so during the day-to-day?
Yeah, for us it's very easy. So because we have to be innovative, because we have to be competitive always. So, and therefore for us, especially in the field of autonomy, there is a very rapid increase of applications affecting our business. And therefore for us, it's very important to have a look outside the company, to look for new ideas, to look for new applications, which helps us to be competitive, which helps us to solve the problems of our customers. Therefore, it's a very good chance for us. It's a very good idea to see interesting ideas, to see interesting applications from startups, which we could implement into our business. We are spending quite a lot of our money for research and development activities. But of course, this is sometimes very much related to daily business and not too much to innovations. And therefore, it's always good to look around what's on the market, what's available, and therefore using startups to use these ideas and work together with startups, especially also not in Germany, also abroad. That's a very good challenge for us and a very good chance for us to do this. And therefore, yeah, I like this idea and I like this event today.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else would like to offer your view as to why is it worth your time?
Yeah, maybe I can say something. You can hear me, I hope so.
Please.
Okay, so Alexander speaking from thyssenkrupp Marine Systems. I think that for us, it's very important to have also the culture internally to open the mindset of innovations, creativity, not only for execution projects where we have a clear customer, where we have a clear project to deliver, but also for the new things that are coming up influencing our products in the future. And the topic that we have is, and as you mentioned, Hannan, is always how do we make sure that people understand that it's not only the daily business that is important, but also the innovations and creativity that we want to raise. And here I think that we are all suffering from that dilemma, if you want, because we have, of course, customer projects that are very important for us. But the expectations to the management team is in certain areas in thyssenkrupp such that we say, you do not deliver only, you do not have to deliver only the customer projects, you have to do something in innovations in certain areas, and we have detected autonomous systems as one of the areas where we say, here the leaders of the groups are entitled and mandated to look around and to have corporations in the globally.
Okay, great. So culture is a big thing as well. Shlomi, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, we see definitely in Israel, one of the major problems we've got, every leader in the world today has got, is how he creates new jobs for his people, okay? And it's not only in Israel, I'm sure it's in Germany, in Singapore, everywhere it's the same. And the key factor for it is to build new business is new innovation and technology, and not only for new ideas and new businesses, but also efficiency. Now, whenever we need to compete around the world and with the old systems, it's impossible. And I'm sure that every country or any competitor to us is doing exactly the same thing. If it's in the more efficiently in the ports or more efficient in shipbuilding and with new systems, etc. So practically, we are going into two parts. One is job creation, and this is a key factor for a country. That's why Israel has to invest and will invest, and we will make sure that we will continue on innovation. Second thing is to bring efficiency to production. And the third thing is to bring new products into the market so we can sell globally. In Israel especially, where the market is very small, with 9 or 10 million people around us, we must find new technologies that we can export and sell it all over the world. And that's why I'm here, to make sure that the young guys that are coming with the brilliant ideas, we are here to help you and to make sure that we will help you to develop this business forward and create new businesses. So create jobs here.
Okay, that's great. So this is true in general all over the world, but you're also giving the Israeli perspective, which is very interesting. And of course, we'll get back in one of the coming questions toward the Israeli circumstances specifically. I'd like to switch gears here, Elton, and here is something for you. Let's look a bit under the hood. So we understood the strategic considerations, but let's look at some projects which are currently, some innovation projects which are currently taking place in any of your organizations. I'd like for you, Elton, maybe to go first and give us an idea. I know that PSA invests a lot in innovation, so share with us one or two examples that you feel comfortable, and maybe others as well can think about something that is ongoing right now internally. So Elton, please.
Yeah, let me just share with you what some of our technology focuses are for PSA. I would divide those our technology interests in maybe three broad areas. The first category would be things that would relate very closely to the core business that we are in, and that's container terminals and seaports. And for that, we are looking at technology that would apply to ports in the fourth industrial age. And then the second category of technology that we're interested in would be technology that relates to the new businesses that we want to be in terms of being more relevant to the cargo that we handle, and that is supply chain and logistics. So log-tech type solutions are also very interesting for us. And thirdly, as a large organization, a lot of technology and innovation related to enterprise technology such as cybersecurity, how we manage people, how we manage data within our organization. That would be the third category of technology that we're interested in. And within the first category, maybe I'll just mention a little bit more, as that may be closer to the audience within the maritime space. As you can imagine, technology that would benefit a port operation process would be, firstly, anything that relates to automation and automation type solutions. Secondly, would be the use of data, in particular big data and AI and machine learning, in helping us to run our operations more efficiently and in a more automated manner also. And I would say probably those are the two biggest focus that within the first category of port-related technology.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else wants to give some more precise perspective as to current innovation activity which might take place? Well, obviously for ATLAS and thyssenkrupp, the two campaigns we have run this year have provided many ideas and many solutions, which I know that you are currently looking into. I wonder if any of you or Shlomi, if you want to mention anything specific that is ongoing within your organization, already being piloted, implemented.
Look, it's very simple. Not everything is to do with a new technology, but innovation and efficiency. And just give one idea that we've got one plant that is producing bottles. You know, so something very similar, very analog. And we needed, with 450 people, we did a big investment. We are under investment, and which will start operation in February, the coming February. And I can tell you that we went down from 450 people to 132. We'll go down to 95, 98. And with the technology, fully automated robotics, everything that you think about it is there. Now, why we're doing it? Because if we need to compete with Turkish suppliers, for example, okay, this is very analog, and I'm not bringing you high tech right now. We need to be very, very efficient, and whenever you've got the neighboring countries with very low labor cost, and if it's to do with welding and other things too, okay, so you need to be very efficient technology-wise, and that's why we are able to compete, and with 98 or 95 people, which we will have, we will triple the production and capable of selling to all our neighboring countries and have a competition in this. Now, why I'm saying it? Because if we are taking now to military boats and other things which we are working, and we're putting more and more technology inside, definitely we could see that we can sell a solution to different countries around the world and compete with Thyssen, for example, and others, and this innovation can come from different partnerships and sell globally. And I think that without bringing new technology in, we will not be able to survive, and that's why I'm here today.
Okay, so what I like about having these type of panels is that you help us actually bring down to earth the discussions about high tech and all that. We're speaking high in the cloud, pie in the sky, different thing like that, and you help us bring it actually down to the reality. And as a matter of fact, I'd like to continue with a down to earth trend or discussion and ask you the following question. First, to set up the context for the question, I just mentioned, I am quoting something here that Arne was part of the project team. And in one of the discussions we had after seeing few additional startups, he mentioned that every time they talk to a startup, they have new ideas and use cases which they never thought about before. This was the quote. And this is the beauty in my mind about doing open innovation for a large corporate to actually talk to young, nimble startups. So this is great. This is cross-pollination. This is open innovation. This is everything. But yet, let's talk now about down in the ranks. Down in the ranks where there is the front line, dealing with the customers, dealing with the partners, life are much more difficult. There is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears which are shed in order to run the business. As executives, as board of directors, I'm sorry, how are you able to align the organization? how are you able to make sure that middle management cooperation is achieved so that your vision about doing new things in the future does not stay something just on the whiteboard? Anybody wants to go first here?
Yeah, maybe I can start.
Please.
So yeah, of course, we have organized us in a way that we can always use this kind of innovation. So that means we have introduced here a clever product management for all our business areas, which is also part of the organizing team here today. Yeah, which bring us these ideas, which bring us the roadmaps in a way that we can use it for the daily business, for our strategic approaches, for our planning purposes. And of course, we are living from our customers' ideas. So that means the customers brings a lot of requirements to us where we have to find solutions. And we have a lot of examples, and especially in the area we are talking about today, in the field of autonomous vehicles, in the field of underwater communications. There are so many ideas coming not from our original business, delivering components and systems for navies. So therefore, it's very interesting, and I'm very excited to hear what the startups present today for us. So, and I'm looking really forward to catch up really good ideas and start to cooperate.
Okay, so thank you, and we'll get soon to the last topic of discussion, but Elton, maybe still relating to that, it seems to me from the outside that you have a relatively well-oiled machine within PSA in how to connect the innovation arm and the scouting arm, which is PSA Unboxed, with the business. So can you share with us, how does it work? How do you have that interface, that connection between your team in Unboxed and the business centers within the operating PSA?
Okay, maybe before I get into that, I just want to make a few comments around what possibly would be some of the right ingredients for success within, to push innovation through an organization. And I would say some of its observations, obviously, from my work within PSA, but of course we do get to see what some other large organizations operate too. So I think one of the things that is very important is that the innovation agenda has to come and be led, at least to a large extent, by the top management. All right, if the top management doesn't support it or is skeptical about it, then obviously down the line, people are going to be a little bit more skeptical, and they're probably going to move slowly. So if the leadership is very clearly for innovation and wants its managers to innovate and actively think of and consider new solutions, then that already sets the tone. And I think that is a very important component to start with. Secondly, within an organization, it's also a corporate culture thing. Some organizations may be more conservative than others, and for those that are probably more conservative, probably they need to rethink a little bit of that corporate culture as to how they view failure. If failure is always very hard to accept, then people are probably going to be less willing to try something new. So there may be some amount of corporate culture change that might be required. And then maybe another comment in terms of the execution. I think sometimes corporate processes can get in the way of innovation. So it's also worth looking at what are some of those corporate processes we have, especially in the areas of, say, procurement of services from small companies, startups for that matter. All right. If we can do better and have that more streamlined, it definitely would help the middle managers who are interested in pushing innovation to move along in terms of pilot projects and POCs with startup companies. All right. So if a company doesn't have a way of working with startups because of all kinds of procurement procedures, then I guess it's going to be a bit harder to innovate. Why? Because there's a lot of innovation coming from startups that you just can't ignore. Right. So I just want to make those three comments.
Yeah, so definitely sometimes it could become overwhelming when it comes at a high pace, and reducing red tape is always good. Okay, so we are running soon out of time. I'd like maybe to touch upon the last point for the discussion here, which involves actuality. And Shlomi, you will be the best positioned person here on the panel to maybe share with us a few of your views. And obviously I'm relating to the fact that in Israel, we are witnessing major changes that must mean a lot to the markets in general and to the high-tech ecosystem specifically. I'm referring, of course, to the commissioning of 2 new major ports, sea terminals in Haifa and Ashdod, which will double the number of major seaports in Israel from 2 to 4 with an opening to the Mediterranean. So that's one thing. The second one is, well, of course, this goes along with also the selling of the 2 existing ports, so big things that have to do with the ports. And the second thing is the establishment of the new relations, commercial and others, with the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. And President Trump promised yesterday at least 5, 6, 8, 9 additional countries. So a lot is happening. And as I said before, Shlomi, I open the newspaper every day. I see that the shipyard industries are involved, are looking at that, are doing different things. So again, your view, maybe few sentences to wrap up, looking into the future. What does that mean to the overall market, but more importantly, in my perspective, to the high-tech market, given the fact that these countries have some significant maritime assets as well. So please.
So first of all, we are very happy with the peace with the UAE and Bahrain, and I hope really that we'll have soon another 2 countries, and that I think that it's on the way. I'm involved in the UAE for a long time, and we've got an operations there, and now it can be disclosed because it was disclosed this week, and the idea, which I can see that it's happening right now, is that the competition in the 4 ports in Israel, it's a lot, and it will be very competitive. And for this, as a port operator, and we are not in the container, we are more in the bulk business, and we did very well. We're doing very well. So you need to think out of the box to invent yourself, and that's why the competition will reduce prices. You need to be more efficient. You have to bring new technologies. There is something else which will happen here, that at the end of the day, the customers till now for the port, if it's a container port, was the ship owner, okay? Here, it's going to change. It's going to be to the customer. And to bring the customer to work with you and to say, you bring it to this port and not to this port, my container, you have to give him a solution. And for this solution, you have to build a really good infrastructure. And I think we are geared to it. And we are, if hopefully we'll win the port of Haifa, the old port of Haifa, and we will show that our capabilities, okay? And this is one thing. We join forces with DP World, okay? And they will be our partners on this. And they are one of the biggest port operators in the world. It was 80 plus terminals around the world. And we've got the whole concept, and they're joining us not only because they're interested in Haifa and look eastbound towards Iraq and Jordan, Syria, whatever, but they're joining because we've got some concept which they love, liked it, and we saw that they've got some technology that they could make us very, very efficient, okay? And that's why we're joining forces, and I think it would be a great relationship working together, and it just came on time, okay? So this is one thing. On the other hand, regarding high-tech, in the UAE, you will see, especially in Jabal Ali, you've got 7,500 factories working in a free zone. It's the business model there is that there is no tax, no income tax, no VAT. Practically, whatever you earn there, if you bring the money back to Israel, you pay tax, but if it stays there, then you don't pay tax. So practically a lot of international companies are investing or invested money there in Jabal Ali, in production, in packing, in the distribution. Mainly the port in Jabal Ali is 90% of is importation, export is nothing to do with the UAE. It's just on transit there or in production and then being exported. And therefore, they're looking all the time for new technology and to invest. In our organization, in our office in we could see that there are the people interested to invest in technology. And this is something we will bring more and more customers, more investors here. I can tell you last week we had the first delegation came from Abu Dhabi here. It looked at around 40, 50 startups in different directions, from agriculture to other things here. And we will bring more. And I think that there is a good chance that a fund will be established specifically for investing in high tech here. And I hope that you, theDOCK, will also enjoy part of this goodwill of the people from there to invest. Now, they are investing here not only because they want to make money, of course, but also they would like to production to be moved to Dubai, the free zone. And I think that this gives us a huge opportunity to companies that are willing to do services globally. From there, it could be very interesting. We are already working with some high-tech companies that establish there an operation, even some production. And I think that there are a lot of opportunities right now for us. And might be something else interesting, just for our friends that are not coming from the Middle East. I think the step that we're doing forward with UAE and Bahrain, and it's a sign for our neighboring countries, our neighbors, Palestinians, even in Gaza and the West Bank. Look, we need to find a way how to work together and create value together. And I think we're going this direction, even though that some disturbances came during the ceremony. We should understand that only by creating value for the two nations, you could bring quiet to the area. And I always repeat and saying that the mother in Palestine or in Gaza or in the West Bank wants exactly the same thing what the mother in Israel wants. And I think that through economic progress, we will show our leaders that we are able to do something better for our people in the Middle East.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Lomi. This was pretty comprehensive for what can be communicated on a panel. I'm sorry, but we ran out of time. I promised to Noah that I'll return back to her already a few minutes ago. So great. On this positive note, I'd like to thank everybody for your attendance, all the panel members for your attendance. I'd like to wish everybody a healthy and happy new Jewish year. And you are all welcome to stay, the panel members, you are welcome to stay and watch the startup pitches. Shana Tova to everybody, and back to you, Noah.
Thank you, Hannan, and thank you all the panelists for your great insights. We will now have a 2-minute coffee break. You are welcome to refill your cups and be back here with us in 1 or 2 minutes. We'll begin with the startups. Thank you. 2 minutes. Okay, so hope you're all back by now. Thank you for rejoining us for the start of speech time. Nir, let's begin.
Hi again and welcome back. Nir Gartzman from theDOCK. So now we are getting ready for the main course. I refill my cup, hopefully you too. Just to mention that this is the second project we run with the tkMS, thyssenkrupp Marine Systems, this year. Earlier this year, we concluded the first project in which we screened tens of startups to identify Industry 4.0 related innovation for the shipyard production floor. Here is a photo from the final event of that campaign showing the winners of the challenge. Hopefully the next one will be a physical event as well. Today we celebrate the final event of yet another project we ran together, this time around the topic of maritime autonomy. The process started 3 months ago when we published the list of challenges that you can see on screen now. More than 100 startups applied, 26 was successfully screened by theDOCK. Go over to the next gate to consult with our partners at ATLAS ELEKTRONIK, and 8 shortlisted, and today 3 of the companies will be invited to consider commercial relations with ATLAS. So without any further notice, we are going to the next startup, Internest. Nicolas, the CEO, the floor is yours. Internest from France, demonstrating local landing system from drones. Please, Nicolas.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicolas. I'm the CEO of Internest and will be happy to present you our solution, which is a local landing system. I guess you hope you all have a good access to the screen and the slide I'm diffusing. So the challenge we are currently addressing is UAV recovery, especially in complex environment. And how we answer to that is with a precise sensors. So in the value chain, we position ourselves as an OEM to provide a key solution to provide safe. We can ensure safety of operations and reduce human workload. Currently, we have been selling 50 systems that have been addressing some defense and maritime issues, and especially in defense. I would like to highlight that currently the French Army and the US DoD is currently evaluating our solution for exactly the application for which we have been pre-selected by thyssenkrupp, Marine Systems and ATLAS for UAV recovery in complex environment. So the problem we are addressing, especially for offshore energy industries, security and defense, we need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week operations, and especially in complex environment, which is obvious for defense application, but also in maritime application that we are today addressing. And for that, UAV is a key solution, and we need automatic systems. Autonomy will come later, but for that, when you need autonomy and automatic solutions, one of the key is about redundancy and dissimilarity. That's why the solution we provide is unique, because we are providing to the table what is unique technology, which is based on acoustics and radio waves, on top of or replacing some other technology. Because the key solution for autonomy and recovery in this complex environment is to provide a resilient and robust architecture. And for that, we need a diverse technology. That's what we are offering for this opportunity. And it's, as we are in maritime environment, it's important to be resilient to this hostile weather situation. That's why we decided to perform a lot of tests, especially in wind tunnels, provide a ruggedized box for our system to address the quality issue that is very important for the very demanding application and operation we are targeting. And another point is that as we are addressing UAV and aeronautics, small weight and power are very key. But it's beyond features, it's also to provide the tools for our partners. It can be drone integrators, it can be integrator like Thyssen and ATLAS, to provide the tool to help them to integrate, to evaluate our solution. It's not a black box. It's a full solution that can help not only to address UAV recovery, which is our, let's say, our core business that we are addressing, but also we are able to provide support for the integration within their own complex architecture. And as it is our patented solution, the unique one using, once again, ultrasound, we can also address specific use case that can be USB docking to mothership, and maybe on the UUV application that has been mentioned by our colleague and partners at ATLAS. And that's the word of the technology, but what is more important is to have the proven ability to work, to put at work the solution, and to put at work the solution with key leading players, because we know that sometimes collaboration between startups or, let's say, small groups and large groups can be challenged. It is sometimes a challenge, but we have been able, through this type of example, to address this application of UAV recovery with helicopters, USV, vehicles in complex environments. So that's why, let's say, all in all, we would be very happy and very enjoyed to have a new partner on the table beyond the one that we already have in aeronautic, like IAI in Israel or Airbus, or the integrator like Naval Group or Thales, and we'll be very happy to enlarge this collaboration and partnership with thyssenkrupp ATLAS. Thank you very much for your time. If you have any question, I will be free to answer. You can address my mail.
Thank you very much, Nicolas. Now 2 minutes for Q&A, please.
Yes, this is Ben speaking, Atlas Bremen. Could you say something about the sizes of the drones that you are able to handle with your system, please?
Yeah, so currently we are addressing to specify the type of drone, the VTOL, so which means multi-rotor drones, drone helicopters, and the hybrid that can land vertically. Then in terms of size, let's say, as a sensor, we don't really matter the size of the platform. It's more after the constraint will be more in terms of, let's say, aeronautical certification, or let's say a very large drone. But let's say for the GAM between 2 kilo to 200, we will be fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you much, Nicolas, to give the respect to all the founders and audience and the time. And just to align the setup with the new joiners that I see here on the screen, the setup will be 5 minutes for each startup, 2 minutes for Q&A, and then concluding remarks. So we are continuing now to Orca AI, Yarden Gross, founder and CEO. The floor is yours, demonstrating an AI collision avoidance systems. Please, Yarden.
Bye-bye.
Nicolas, just unshare. Thank you. Yarden, you are muted.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, not now.
Yep.
Please, 5 minutes. It's been.
So,
yes.
So, hi everyone. Nice to meet you. Great that you're on the call. Very exciting. My name is Yarden Gross. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Orca AI. We started a company in 2018 with a vision to enhance safety and efficiency of ship operations by developing autonomous capabilities. Today, we are taking the first step of that, building the technology infrastructure and already assisting the crew on board with insights on dangerous situations around them, and also connecting the shore side to the fleet. So just to frame the problem, you have about 4,000 accidents, incidents happening every year, mainly, and this number is just growing in the last couple of years, it doubled itself, mainly because waterways are becoming more congested, and secondly, because crew on board is less experienced than it used to be in the past. We are constantly hearing that feedback from our customers. We started to think, when we started a company, what we can actually build that's going to be a game changer, what kind of technology will enhance the capabilities of the crew on board to be much more aware of the surroundings and take better decisions. And we understood right from the start, we need to build a holistic solution that actually integrates to every existing navigational sensor on the bridge, but also adding another sensor, which is this lookout unit. It's designed for congested areas, and it's a combination of high resolution cameras with thermal cameras that can detect small objects from faraway distances. And then these cameras and the data that comes out from that are fused with existing sensors, and then feed to a learning algorithm that is analyzing the data in real time and providing the insights. We started a company in 2018, raised capital money, started developing the technology, collected tremendous amount of marine data in order to train the models. In the beginning of this year, we got to a commercial grade and started working with leading shipping companies, oil and gas companies, ship owners, and the list is starting to grow. In terms of the installation, so we did it, this installation we did 2 weeks ago. First time we sent a box to the ship, and the crew on board did all the installation by themselves with the instructions. So it was pretty exciting. It takes only about 6 hours, so very easy to retrofit the ship with the Orca system. In terms of the technology, we designed Orca, every line of code, every algorithm, all the data is designed to the marine domain. The marine domain is a very complex environment. If we're talking about the first layer, which is to be able to detect objects in a very high accuracy, we trained the model to be able to actually handle very complex scenarios of heavy seas, low visibility conditions, pitch black night. After detecting the object, then we are sending that to the classifier, which is actually putting context in the situation, classify between different types of objects. So stationary objects like bridges, offshore construction, oil rigs, but also moving objects like ships, type of ships, and even smaller fishing vessels. After classifying the object, then we are placing the object in the environment. So basically we are measuring the distance, measuring the bearing to be able to assess the risk better. This is a very unique technology. We are the only company in the maritime industry who are actually measuring distance using cameras. And by that, we are able to sense the environment very, very good. We are able to detect, classify, and be able to predict if there is a dangerous situation. And on top of that, we actually build a smart alarm system that provides insights to the crew on board on how the ships are being operated and if there is any dangerous situation around you. When you combine everything together, this is how it looks for the captain. So all the technology is being packaged in a very nice user interface. We are detecting every object around the vessel, classifying between them. Once you press on the object, you can get all the relevant information right side. Very intuitive user interface. We're doing it with day cameras and of course also with thermal cameras. This is a thermal view. You can see how everything looks very clear, even in pitch black night, even in congested waterways. In the last couple of months, we started collecting the data and send the data back to the cloud to be able to provide visibility to other stakeholders. So for example, for the fleet managers to be able to actually assess how the ships are being operated and to be able to actually view if there was any dangerous situation that the ship was encountering. And so this is the system that we're building, constantly developing that and adding more technology capabilities. So it was great to present you.
1 minute here then.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Yarden, Benjamin, Atlas, professional expert. Any questions, please?
Just a short question on your accuracy measuring the distance given the camera images. Could you say something about this accuracy?
Can you please repeat the question? I can't hear so well.
Can you state something about the accuracy that you're achieving using cameras to measure the distance to shapes or objects that are moving?
Yeah, so any detected object, up to the horizon line, we can detect it in very high accuracy. We're building benchmarks all the time to test it. And now we're doing a benchmark to test 99% accuracy for 15 kilometers. So basically 8 nautical miles to be able to detect. We can classify between different type of objects just using the cameras very effectively, and also measuring distance. Measuring distance usually is more effective to closest proximities by cameras. So we are fusing the data. So some of the data we're taking from the radar and AIS, and some of the data we are just projecting through the cameras. And then we are weighting the best results. And then this is what we are calculating and providing.
Thank you, Yarden. And in order to, because we have a little bit late in time, we will continue to the next one, to Prisma Photonics, demonstrating hyper-scan fiber sensing solution. I invite Eran Bar, CEO and co-founder, to tell the audience what it means and how Atlas can harness it to their own use. So please, Eran.
Thank you very much and good morning. My name is Hannan Carmeli. I'm the CEO of Prisma Photonics. And in the coming few minutes, we will present our sensor-free solution for subsea monitoring. I will start with a brief about Prisma Photonics. The company was founded 3 years ago. We are already in the stage of early revenues, 15 employees, venture capital backed. Our business and market is smart physical infrastructure like electrical grid, oil and gas pipeline, perimeter control, smart highways, railways, and of course, the subsea environment. We're offering a unique business model. It's data as a service. I will elaborate about it later on. And we are already completed multiple POCs and paid pilot with tier 1 utilities globally and started commercial deployment. I would mention that since presenting our solution, our technology won multiple industry awards. A brief about the team. The team has a very extensive technical experience in the field of lasers, fiber optics, and algorithms, and extensive business experience in taking startup from incorporation to global leadership. So let's speak a little bit about the solution, and starting about how usually you monitor subsea, pipeline, cables, perimeters. If you try to install multiple sensors in this harsh environment, it becomes very complicated and very expensive. And our solution, we're calling it sensor-free because we don't need to install anything along the infrastructure. The only thing that we're using is pre-existing fiber optics cables. So those pre-existing optical communication cables, those are our sensor. We have an onshore system, we plug it into the cable, and the offshore cables are the sensors without the need to any further installation. And what can we detect with this system? So here is just a few examples. So for example, we can detect leakage from a pipeline. We can detect, for example, suspicious activities, vandalism, third-party interference, inline pigging devices, divers activities, ground movement, and even the formation of the pipeline. Why this solution is a game changer in this domain? So first of all, it's a sensor-free. The meaning is that we don't need to install anything in the subsea environment. The sensor that we're using is a fiber, so it's passive, it's highly reliable, and practically unlimited lifetime. And another important aspect is the ramp-up time. The only thing that we need to do is to plug our system to the fiber and that's it. So the ramp-up time is a matter of few days. Since we don't need to install anything, there is no, I would say, upfront commitment or expenses, so we can change the business model and offer a modern and unique service model. We call it data as a service, in which the customer can pay as he goes. As I presented in the previous slide, it's one platform, but it's covering multiple use cases, from safety to security to predictive and even preventive maintenance. And it is disruptive technology. This technology basically solves the holy grail problem of fiber sensing, which is how to reduce the false alarm rate and how to dramatically improve the target classification capability of the system. So to finish, I would like just to put in front of you an illustration that can demonstrate or illustrate the possible scenarios and possible capabilities of the system. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eran. Fascinating. And please, experts and audience, Q&A for 2 minutes.
How good could you locate the problem you see?
How do we locate the location of the device? So without diving in this short time frame into deep technology, what we're doing is transmitting pulses of laser to the system, into the fiber, and we can measure the time from transmitting the pulses to getting it back, so we know in a resolution of meters the exact location of the target. And then we're doing classification and machine learning about the signature of the event, and we can know not only location, but also classification. Meaning, is it a diver? Is it a vehicle? Is it a leakage? So we can tell the whole story, where it is and what it is.
Okay. So if no further questions, we will move on to the next one. Sierra, underwater vision solution. Started from the Haifa University, next to the DOCK offices in Haifa. Please.
Hi. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for having us here. I'm Tali Trevich. I'm the CTO and founder of Sierra. As Nir said, we're developing solutions for intelligent vision underwater. So above water computer vision is used almost everywhere nowadays. Autonomous cars are a good example, and we just saw a great example from Orca AI. But underwater, because of bad visibility, the use of visual inspections and visual information is very limited. Before I continue, I just want to draw your attention to the video that is running. We have the scenes of mock-up mines, which is our use case in this presentation. So what we do, we develop algorithms based on the physical image formation model to increase the visibility range underwater and recover the scenes as if there was no water between the objects and the camera. And this helps both manual inspection and also automatic analysis. As for our advantages, this works in real time. As opposed to other maybe similar solutions, we do not, the other solutions only try to make the scene slightly nicer. We focus on increasing the visibility range. So exposing objects that are not seen in the original input. We extend the visibility range at least by 2 to 4x. We can work at any depth because we can work under both ambient and artificial illumination. We estimate all the optical properties of the water and the scene just from the images themselves. And that's why we don't need any external information or knowledge. We don't need to know the location, the depth, the conditions, and so on. And we are compatible to a wide range of hardware because we do not rely on a specific hardware. So we can connect to any camera. As for our products, we have a software running the method in real time. In the software, you can either open a video that was already saved or input a streaming output from a camera that is underwater, for example, on an ROV, drop cam, or so on. You press play and you get the enhancement in real time. We also have a camera with real-time onboard processing. This is for applications that cannot stream the output outside the water. A few words about the company. So I have a PhD in electrical engineering from the Technion that already dealt on underwater computer vision. We established the company a 1.5 years ago based on several patents and algorithms we developed in my research lab that is dealing with underwater computer vision and imaging. We already have a paying customer for our software, and we have a very strong team expert in computer vision and operations. As for real-time identification of naval mines, so I put here a few things from the video that you already saw. So I think it is pretty clear that once you have better visibility, you can have a higher recall, higher precision to do the surveys much faster because you see much better and you can identify the mines from further away. So our technology is critical for the task completion and also significantly lowers the risk of the task. This is an example of automatic fish detection, just to show that it's useful not only for manual inspection, but also for automatic detection. This is the result of a deep network for identifying fish. You can see that there are many false alarms, and I'll give you a second to try to find the real fish in the scene. Okay, so for the sake of time, I'll show you where is actually the fish. This is the output of the same deep network on our enhanced image. You can see the big shark in the middle of the image that was very difficult to spot before. And as you see, the accuracy of the network significantly increased as well. That's all. I'm ready for questions.
Thank you very much, Tali. Very impressive. Please, Q&A.
Hi, is this software available to be licensed, or what kind of business models are you looking at there?
Yeah, so the software, we can sell it according to a license fee, a monthly. We have different, several plans depending on the use cases, how many cameras and so on. And as I said, we are very flexible also for integration. So we can also integrate the software in existing systems because we're based on algorithms. And as I said, we don't need any special hardware. And we can also integrate our camera with the real-time processing on board, also on systems.
And can you say a little bit about the hardware you need? Are we looking at a GPU acceleration, or will it run on, the standard Raspberry out there? How much power do you need in there?
We need a GPU for real time. Yeah, it's a heavy, the algorithm really digs up the information as you saw from the images. So we need a GPU. The strength of the GPU depends on the resolution you want to run in real time and the actual frame rate that you need. So lower requirements, we can have simpler boards.
Right.
Thank you very much, Tali. To give the respect to all the other founders, we will move on to EL Wave, that coming all the way from France. Pierre, CEO and founder. The floor is yours, the stage is yours. Demonstrating electrical sensing detection system. Please.
Hello, good morning. I'm trying to share the screen. Give me.
Nir, I think Pierre accidentally logged off, so maybe we'll switch.
Maybe we will switch and continue the next one, and then we will come back to EL Wave. So Razor Lab, Tal, the head of sales of business development, the stage is yours. Razor Lab is delivering AI-based decision-making support system. So please, Tal.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me and see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a great honor for us to present today. My name is Tal, and I lead sales and biz dev. Alongside with me, I have Ido, who is our chief scientist and one of the co-founders. We are Razor Labs. The company was founded 4 years ago, when the idea is to be a bridge between very advanced technologies, such as AI and deep learning in particular, and bringing actual business and operational value to our clients. We solve very complex operational and business challenges. We are a very unique company. We are not a startup, and the reason is that we have never raised any money, so please don't call us a startup. We've completed over 55 projects all over the world, and we have another office in Australia. We are NVIDIA certified service delivery partner. We are the only ones in Israel, the Middle East, and Australia. NVIDIA audit Razor Labs for a whole year, mainly technical, and we got a confirmation we are certified service partner of NVIDIA. Another great honor we got a few months ago, we were chosen by CB Insights to be one of the top 100 AI companies in the world. So we work with very big clients in Israel and outside of Israel, so I won't go one by one because we don't have enough time.
But we don't see your screen, so if you try to share something, we see the room and you're in the room, but without screen sharing. So
okay, yeah. Okay, so
אתה לא עושה share בזום.
A second. Sorry about that. Now you see my screen?
Great, please.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I was saying that we have a very broad portfolio of customers. This is just a quick glance. So we work with very big clients in Israel and outside of Israel. So you see the logos. Now you actually can see them. And I won't go over them one by one. So we operate in two areas mainly. Actually, you can work with any sensor, but it's easier to divide the world into two. Anything that is visual and all the other sensors, multiple applications for each one of the platforms. But again, we don't have enough time to go over it today. Now I will let Ido present you the use cases.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. So basically, the first use case that we're going to talk about is a sea-level object tracking and understanding. Basically, the solution, that the problem here that we faced is to help to avoid collisions and increase awareness and the probability of survivability within naval navigation, and basically helping the manufacturer to build a much more autonomous capabilities on top of our vision pipeline. Basically, what we did, we employed our computer vision based deep learning visual pipeline. And we are doing both, of course, detection, tracking, and some sort of anchoring between the environment using the line of sight horizontal line, and adding that to our tracking understanding. And basically, we are doing everything from the detection to the tracking and classification, as I mentioned. And we got actually amazing results, and we were able to detect even from very far away objects, very small objects like buoys and other types of flotation devices, and of course, very large and small vessels, and classifying between them. Of course, all of that is being run real time on very, very low-cost sensors and low-cost hardware, mainly manufactured by NVIDIA as our partner. And the swap is using NVIDIA devices is actually amazing. You can have the entire setup of cameras and hardware with only a few $1,000s, which is a very big game changer if you want to add this type of vision powers to even small vessels and not just very large ones. The second use case is actually a very interesting one, because it's one of the first attempts that we know how of using raw radar data or RF signals and using deep learning to do analytics on top of that. We are operating, for the person here knows know weather, we're operating both on range Doppler and time Doppler spectrograms on top of raw INQ signals. And we are doing here a classification of both of them. Actually, the biggest, we saw actually a tremendous amount of accuracy and precision recall benefit. We actually had the gain of something about 30% of precision recall compared to the classic solution. And now it's being deployed on many operational radars.
Okay, Tal, 1 minute, so please conclude.
Yes, we are about to finish.
Yeah, the third and last use case is actually talking about reinforcement learning, both on Industry 4.0, helping build more and more autonomous capabilities. On top of, for example, this an assembly line. This is one of the most interesting use cases for reinforcement learning, based, of course, completely on AI. We have much more interesting use cases of reinforcement learning. For example, we're doing indoor navigation of drones, outdoor navigability understanding from off-road autonomous cars and armed cars. So basically, the amount of stuff that we can build using reinforcement learning is actually tremendous, from assembly lines to autonomous devices.
Okay. Carl, thank you very much. We'll go over to the question inquiries from ATLAS experts, Benjamin and Tim, please. So thank you very much, Razor Lab team. We will go back now to EL Wave. Pierre, just mark us that you are all set to share your screen and go ahead for the 5-minute pitch of EL Wave.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, great. We can see your screen, please.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, it crashed while sharing the screen. So I'm Pierre Tuffigo, the CEO and founder of ELWave. First, I would like to say that it's a great pleasure and an honor to be with you today. So ELWave is a French company. We have been incorporated in 2018. We valorized some academic research from a biorobotics laboratory, French one, which has conducted research work on the technology, the electric sense, since 2007. We have several contracts with world leaders, companies in underwater domain, so in civilian activities, Total, Saipem, Subsea 7, and with other defense companies. And so here on the image, you can see part of the team while they were performing some tests in saltwater large pool in France. So ELWave develops and markets systems based on the electric sense technology. So it's an active electromagnetic solution. Basically, we install our systems on subsea vehicles, AUVs or ROVs, and we create an electromagnetic bubble around the vehicle. And when an object penetrates this electromagnetic bubble, it perturbates the electromagnetic field. And with a specific algorithmic treatment, we detect the object and we determine many capabilities. So we obtain a real-time 360 degrees electrical image, which is a unique capability. And so the object which has entered in the electromagnetic bubble, we determine its shape, its location, its size, and we characterize to its material. So we determine in real time if the object is a metallic or a non-metallic object, if it's a living organism or a non-living organism. We are the first and the only to develop and market this brand new system based on electric sense technology. So regarding the tkMS and ATLAS ELEKTRONIK interest, our technology is of great interest for two main applications, the underwater vehicle navigation and mainly the AUV, so the autonomous vehicles, the submarines too, and the mine countermeasures, and especially our unique capability to detect and to classify the dummy mines, the magnetic mines, and the buried mines. And our solution is efficient in any simple and complex environment. It detects and characterizes any type of object. And basically, it's better and faster than the camera, the sonar, and the magnetometers. So regarding these two applications, we are currently developing two product lines. So on the left side, the first product line is so the real-time 360-degree detection, safety shield. So here you can see the field of view of our system. So the red bubble in comparison with the field of view of the camera and the sonar. So camera and sonar are directional systems, giving only vision in front of the vehicle. And with our system, we give a full 360-degree perception of the environment. And this is of great interest for the AUV navigation and the AUV deployment in complex environment, close to the seabed, in very shallow waters, and this kind of environment. And this fully operational deployment of AUV permits to reduce the operating costs of subsea activities, subsea surveys by a factor of 10. And regarding the buried and the non-buried object survey, and in the defense sectors, it's the mines. Our technology permits to detect and to classify any type of mines. So as I said, the buried mines, the magnetic mines, the dummy mines, up to 2 meters depth of burial. And in comparison with the magnetometers, the magnetometer will only detect magnetic systems, so that cannot detect magnetic mines, and we can detect them. The sonar, we give shape information, but if you have a dummy mine, the sonar won't make the difference between a dummy and a real mine. While with our characterization capacity, we can give an additional information of high interest. Does the system or the mine or the object is a metallic or non-metallic system? And so we can discriminate dummy mines from real mines. And our system yes, can be implemented on autonomous survey. And so we are able to perform this mine survey thanks to with AUVs. So thank you for your attention. And I'm ready to answer your question.
Please, Q&A from ATLAS experts.
What kind of detection range do you have on that system? I know that depends on the object, of course, but what range do you see?
So the detection range depends on the sensitivity of the electronics and the power we emit in the water. So currently we have 5 times the length of the vehicle. So if you consider an AUV of 5 meters, the radius of the perception bubble is 25 meters. And with more precise electronics, we can go up to 10 times the length of the vehicle. So if you still consider a 5-meter AUV, the detection range is 50 meters.
Thank you very much, Pierre, for all the audience and participants. Thanks in advance for your patience as we are running late 15 minutes compared to the original agenda. We have 2 startups to go. We are now continue to Hydromia, represented by the CEO and co-founder, Igor Martin. Hydromia is coming from Switzerland, and they are delivering a modular, autonomous underwater drone platform. Please, Igor, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. Okay, let me know if you see my screen.
See your screen. Go ahead.
Yep. All right, yes. Good morning. So yes, I'm Igor Martin, CEO of Hydromia. We're based in Switzerland, and we focus on drones, but not the drones that fly above our heads. There are plenty of those today. The underwater drones, those that swim in water. And you might not have heard a lot about underwater drones, and that's not by an accident. The technology of communication and navigation underwater is quite complex, not trivial. And it has been solved for big vehicles, but not so much for a small drone type vehicles underwater. And that's where Hydromea was focusing over the last 15 years and where we've got to build the edge and unfair competitive advantage. The problem that we're solving is mandatory inspections of submerged assets today are highly inefficient. They cost a lot of money, they lead to significant downtime of an asset, and they could also result in safety risks to personnel. So we developed this portable autonomous underwater drone platform that could be used to inspect a submerged asset and provide certification of its integrity. We are fundamentally a robotics as a service company. We go to market via service partners that deploy our drones and the drones collect data. So we charge per data set and per drone lease. It results in significant cost savings of inspections. It also eliminates safety risks as no personnel enters into the confined space. Provides for ad hoc availability of an inspection tool in case of an emergency, for instance. You don't have to really call for a diver or flush the water out. And it enables remote inspection, something which in COVID time especially became important. So Hydromea over the last 15 years have been focusing on de-risking key hardware buildup of a platform. And today we've got quite a lot of core IP around key enabling technologies that allow us to put a specific drone for specific application in a Lego style almost. So those technologies that we've developed, some of them we've even commercialized. And there are a couple of things that when we think about potential cooperation with ATLAS that we have in mind, and we talked to you already before. So one is wireless optical telemetry. We've been really focusing on developing this very small devices that can pass a high volume of data with low latency wirelessly through water. And we've already have 3 devices commercially deployed over the last 3 years within the offshore space. And we are launching a new device later this month. So when we, again, think about cooperation with ATLAS, here we might be interested in, together with ATLAS, do some use cases on optical telemetry applications such as fast data download from stationary subsea assets or a mesh network communication between different points underwater or high volume data exchange between 2 dynamically moving objects in the water. So that's something that we already have commercial and it could be relatively easy to put together. Now we also have been focusing on developing a swarm for small portable vehicles. And we were developing a swarm technology platform to collect massive data from the water column. So today, in order to kind of map out, for instance, a pollution plume, the 2 people on the boat go take manual probes and then try to model it in the office later. With a swarm, you can actually launch 10, 20 drones simultaneously with probes on them, and they could collect thousands more data points, and you could basically see it in the 3D cloud. We're at TRL 7 here, so there's still a little bit to go, but not too much, and that's a project that we'd be very interested to work on with ATLAS for defense application. So a few words on the company. The company was founded 5 years ago by 2 German engineers who have a passion for ocean exploration, and they started this journey in Australia building a world's first very small autonomous vehicle. So we have been working on this autonomous vehicle design over the last these years in academia. Felix Schill is a CTO. He graduated from Australian National University with PhD in specifically underwater swarm communication, distributed network communication. And Alex Bao went to the US, got an MIT PhD in underwater swarm navigation. They then got to a PFL and opened the company here. I joined them 2 years ago, and I've been running a business at DuPont before. So now I'm responsible for business development and commercial things in the company. So really, we would be interested to look at a close partnership with ATLAS on swarming, look at some use cases in pilots on our Luma telemetry. And we are currently actively fundraising. So if there is anybody who's interested in this area, would be happy to talk to you. Thank you.
Please Q&A from ATLAS experts. Thank you very much, Igor. Okay, so with no further inquiries, we are heading to the next startup, Arcus team, as everything become connected. So there is also a cyber risk. So I invite to the stage Carmeli Yadin, founder and CEO of Arcus team, IoT cyber protection solution. Carmeli, please, the stage is yours.
Carmeli, you're muted.
Carmeli, we saw to see your screen, but without voice.
Yes, sorry about that. Hi, my name is Dr. Carmeli Yadin, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Arcus team. One unique thing about our co-funding team is that we're all coming from cyber offensive industry. Alon, Rostam, and myself, we've been attacking connected devices for our living, working with government agencies. And that gives us a unique take on how we think the cybersecurity for connected devices should act. So, as Nir just mentioned, we live in a world that all is connected to all, and we're all connected. And we understand that the main problem is that each connected device, whether if it's connected to the internet or connected into a private network, all those devices act as an open door for cyber attacks. And specifically in maritime industry, we see the highest increase of cyber attacks across all industries. We see over 400% increase in attempts of cyber attacks alone, and that's from February this year only. If we look at the market, we see that there are companies that provide visibility and security for connected devices, either by scanning the network or by installing clients or agents on those devices, or by providing a vulnerability management solutions. But we do something different. We do something that no one else is doing today. Arcus team developed Edge, a new layer of security that predict, block, and eliminate the attacks before they get into the networks. Our solution identifies the entire connected device in the network and then analyze the firmware file we identify. By doing that, we identify the entire vulnerabilities and security issues exist on any device in the network. We then provide a security and mitigation action plan for each security issue we identify on those devices. Our solution identifies the devices in the network, create a prioritizations and sequence threat and mitigation action. We create an enforcement rule for each device and eradicate the attacks from the network. Our solution is an agentless, fully automated, and has zero risk for our clients to integrate and implement this solution. But what is really mind-blowing here is that we're not just giving our customers back control, we're also creating a new cyber dimension that stops the future hacks from happening. Together with you guys, our vision is to become the maritime pre-domain platforms and to prevent any future attacks from any maritime device. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carmeli. Please, Q&A from ATLAS experts, Benjamin and Tim.
Can you say a little bit about how you recognize this, the attacks? What are the characteristics that you trigger upon? Is that some kind of AI heuristic approach? What's under the hood in your system?
Okay, so we develop a unique technology that is able to identify any security issue on any binary file, on any firmware file. We take the firmware files that we identify in the network and we translate the firmware file into a new language. It's a language that we created. And we're doing the same to the entire vulnerabilities exist in the network, exist in the industry, cross-industry. And once we have everything existing in one unified language, we're able to easily identify vulnerability. But our uniqueness is not by identifying vulnerabilities only. We're also, based on our unique technology, we're able to identify the entire exploitation paths for any vulnerability.
Thank you very much, Karmit. And to conclude the session and to make sure we will not run too late, we will finish now the part of the showcasing. Thank you everyone, all the startup founders, for great showcases. Atlas experts are now finalized now their decisions. And during these few minutes, I want to mention that you have seen 8 startups in total. And I would like to offer a few observations about the startups in the coming 2 minutes. So first of all, 5 of the startups are based in Israel. 3 of them from outside of Israel, the rest of the world. This is roughly reflects the DOCK deal flow mix currently. Moreover, 2 of the 8 startups are already from the DOCK portfolio and received a venture investment from the DOCK Navigator Fund during the last couple of years. Those 2 are Arcus and OrkAI, following market validation processes with other partners of the DOCK. The rest of the startups maybe will be a portfolio startup of the next fund of the DOCK in the future. Godspeed in that respect. Second, 2 out of the 8, 25% of the startups are women-led with female entrepreneurs at the hood as the CEO and founders, things that are very far from the current state of diversity in the global maritime sector as a whole. And without even notice it, we are glad that this was the outcome of this process to show that the new world and the future is also more diverse and more open to innovation, culture, and any kind of such. So thanks again, Atlas experts. And before we are going to the final remarks of the Atlas experts and to note and to announce the next company that you would like to continue with them, I will ask Julian and Arnett to conclude from their side as well.
Yeah, hello Nia. Hello to everybody. So my name is Arne Kraft. I'm head of autonomy and unmanned systems within the tkMS. And so first of all, thank you to you, theDOCK, for making such a great job in arranging the things, in arranging this great event and bringing us in the world of startups here. And yeah, giving us a very hard job now to decide. So we had a very hard job with all of the colleagues from tkMS and Atlas to down select even to the 8 best ones that are now here in the final. And so I can tell all of you 8 now that you are on our list. So even though that we have down select now to 3 that we call the winners, all of you had impressive technologies, and we will watch how your technology is growing. And please, all of your 8 be aware that you may be called by us in a short term just to ask if we can do something together. But due to the fact that, as Michael Otzegowski said, we we have our roadmaps, and within our roadmaps, we have distinct strategies and times where we have to start things. So we down selected now 3 winning companies by looking at our actual status, our actual roadmaps, and about the topics that we have to start now. So which does not say that the others are not good, it just said we may come to you later. but for now, the 3 companies that we down selected, so the winning candidates that will be invited to Bremen to talk with us about possible business cases, opportunities, and setting up a small project, which will be the START project. So, Nir, can I start telling the 3 ones?
Please, the stage is yours. We are thrilled.
Okay. So the 3 are now Internest, Hydromea, and Sierra Vision. So congratulations to these 3 companies. You are selected as the winners of our autonomy challenges. And I have to add a small thing to that. We decided to have a special prize for Prisma Photonics. So from our side, Prisma Photonics is a real great technology, and our sonar experts said they desperately want to work with them, but the topic does not fall so much under autonomy. So we will make a special prize out of that for Prisma Photonics as the 4th one then being selected. So thank everybody for being part of that, and we will soon connect to those 4 companies. Thank you, Nia.
Okay, thank you very much, Arne, and big applause to the companies that go ahead with pilot projects with ATLAS and tkMS. Really fascinating and really encouraging for us to saw the culmination of this process actually materialize into a true collaboration between early stage startups and innovative technologies to leading legacy corporate in the sector. Now, a few concluding remarks for us at theDOCK. First of all, it's worth mentioning that, as you can see, we are very passionate about what we are doing, and as we often state, we see ourselves as the one that tied the knot between the needs in the global maritime sector, together with the global high-tech sector, and specifically with focus on the local vibrant ecosystem in Israel, it's sometimes branded as Startup Nation. So in any given time, we always encourage corporates and startup alike to approach us offline to discuss opportunities for deal flow and for collaboration. And for all our participants for this panel and event, thank you for listening. We took note of the questions that some of you sent in private or openly to the startups. We're taking it offline to the founders, and we will share with you the answers. So we took note of that. Also, there will be also a live recording available to all of you. And again, thanks you all. Have a great day. Shana Tova for the Israeli participants for this, as tomorrow is the Israeli New Year holiday. And thanks again to all our partners, panelists, founders that make this happen. And lastly, to my partners at theDOCK, Hannan, Noah, and Michal. Thank you very much, and looking forward for the next event.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.